Failed former President Donald Trump is now under criminal investigation for espionage. Yes, violations of the Espionage Act. My, how quickly political fortunes can turn. 2 weeks ago, Joe Biden's presidency was very stagnant, record low approval rating. Donald Trump seemingly coasting to a probable 2024 Republican presidential nomination, seemingly unable to be touched. And in a 2-week period on the Joe Biden side, blockbuster jobs report, just extraordinary. Inflation down, wages up, passing the PACT Act, passing the Inflation Reduction Act. And on the other hand, Donald Trump now subject to an FBI search warrant executed at his home in Florida with multiple different criminal investigations taking place. Let's take it step by step. We will get to possible prison time a little bit later in the show. But to start with, the FBI search warrant has leaked, and it shows that Donald Trump is under investigation for potential obstruction of justice and, yes, Espionage Act violations. And we will look at the details of that. Trump criminality going radioactive. A search warrant unsealed Friday reveals that the FBI is investigating Donald Trump for potential violation of the Espionage Act, and that agents removed classified documents from the former president's Florida estate earlier this week. A receipt accompanying the search warrant shows Trump possessed documents, including a handwritten note, documents marked with TSSCI, which is one of the highest levels of government classification, and another item labeled info regarding the president of France. The executive grant of clemency for Roger Stone was in those items. The warrant shows federal law enforcement was investigating Trump for removal or destruction of records, obstruction of justice, and violating the Espionage Act, which can encompass crimes beyond spying, such as the refusal to return national security documents upon request. Conviction under the statutes can result in imprisonment or fines. Now, one of the things that has also developed over the weekend is a seemingly impossible to unwind series of claims about whether or not the documents were even at Mar-a-Lago. And it's beyond our ability to unpack it today. And quite frankly, it's not even the most interesting part of the story. But I should, in order to be thorough, mention that endlessly conflicting claims have been made. First, it was there were no documents. Then it was the FBI planted the documents. Then it was the documents were there, but they were returned by June. So then they must have been planted, or maybe not. And then it became, the documents were there, and it was completely fine and legal for the documents to be there. It's a witch hunt going after Trump for something which isn't even a crime. Then it was, I declassified the documents. They were there, but I declassified them, even though there's no evidence that they were declassified. And then Trump claimed, I had a standing order that anything I take home gets declassified, which is not how declassification works. It is an endless mishmash, a gish gallop, a throwing ketchup, for lack of a better term, at the wall to see what will stick. And where we are at the end is with the unsealed warrant, now the knowledge that part of this investigation is into Trump for possible violations of the Espionage Act. Not literal spying, but a number of crimes that fall under the general umbrella, espionage. Well, so if you are for law and order and there is an investigation going on into an individual for the violation of particular laws, what do you say? Well, if you're Rand Paul, you say cancel the Espionage Act. It's unbelievable. Let's talk about that next. Your internet provider, websites you visit, social media companies, they all follow you around online and profit from selling your data. Anyone can piece together this data about you. It's quite disturbing. The solution is make yourself anonymous with private internet access, our sponsor. Private internet access has gone further than any other VPN to demonstrate their commitment to your privacy. They don't collect or store any data about user activity. They've proven this in court multiple times. Their software is 100% open source, so you can see that no data is being logged. Everybody should be using a VPN. For your research on which VPN is most trustworthy, I think you'll land where I did. private internet access. It's great for streaming. They have 24/7 customer support. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't love it. You can choose from IP addresses in 84 countries and all 50 US states. And my audience gets 82% off, so you can stay protected for just $2.11 a month. Plus, you'll get 3 months free. Go to privateinternetaccess.com/Pacman. The link is down below.